G'day everyone and welcome to today's video where I combine 3 of my favourite things in 7 Days to Die: zombie force fields, blade traps and horde base builds. As you can see, I've started with the groundwork around which this base is built, which is a spiral walkway surrounded by a zombie force field. It's not the easiest thing to build, as you need to have the 2 block wide force field around the walkway and a pit underneath to ensure the force field works correctly. I've also added a stairway out of the pit, as from time to time you'll get a zombie that glitches through the force field and you don't want them stuck underneath smashing your base down. While it's not the easiest to visualize when it's all in grey concrete like this, let's add some paint, make it easier to see. And boom! We've got yellow for force field and blue for the path the zombies will follow. From here it's time to start adding the blade traps. The goal is to cover the entire blue path with traps that are set on top of the force field so that zombies will ignore them and just run along the path, where they will still be hit by the traps. We then add a second layer of blade traps on top to headshot the taller zombies as they run through, for a total of 18 blade traps. So obviously this isn't a cheap base to invest in, but it should have the advantage of using a lot less ammo, since a lot of the initial damage is going to come from the traps. So instead of ensuring that you have lots of ammo for Horde Night, instead you'll need to prioritise salvaging vending machines and streetlights, or smelting forged steel if you want to go with this design. Now as we trace through the path the zombies will use, you might be asking what they are supposed to do when they get to the middle of the spiral, and if that's where you're supposed to stand and fight. And the answer is, here we are going to build a second base on top of this base. After building up a few blocks to get clear of the traps, you can effectively build whatever elevated base you like, from a killing corridor to a loot base, whatever you like that's elevated and can be accessed from the bridge out from the middle of the spiral. To start with, I'm just going to use a basic elevated platform with a hatch to stop the zombies getting into our main combat area, and we'll see how that goes. Now that that's done, we need to power the blade traps. I'm going to put in 3 generator banks full of engines spread across the bottom of the pit so we can get things all wired up, remembering that we can only have 9 wires out of each generator bank. Once that's done, we can power them all up, and here's how it'll look. From there, let's just add a little bit of extra padding underneath where we stand in case the zombies decide to try and knock it down, and also we'll add a quick access ladder at the back. Now that's done, let's head inside, get set up, and run a Horde Night. Alright, Horde Night is a few seconds away. I've gone to day 42, which should be about right for my current level, which is 50. Questionable, of course, if you've got enough forged steel to make the 16 blade traps that we're using by that time, but if you're focusing on getting steel rather than, say, looting and ammo, and of course we're lucky enough to get a crucible, then it should be possible. Alright, we've got our first zombie coming in, so let's talk about the weapons that I've grabbed. Grabbed a fairly basic AK, as well as a baseball bat, in case they get within melee range, but hopefully not. I've only given myself 450 rounds of ammunition, given the early game stage. The intent, of course, is not to go full auto with the AK, but just to sit here, as we're doing now, and snipe a few of the zombies, mainly so that we do a little bit of damage with the weapons, get a little bit of extra XP, and reduce the amount of damage that the blade traps have to do. Of course, the blade traps, every time they do damage to the zombies, also take durability loss, so we want to extend their life as much as possible for the whole Horde Night by basically taking out some of the zombies ourselves. So far so good. Blade traps are doing their job, ripping through the zombies. We can sit here as they group up and take a few pot shots, hopefully occasionally hit. Alright, time for a quick reload and check the time. We're 40 minutes into Horde Night. Keep doing our pot shots. Oh, and I see some smoke. And it's gone. So, blink it, you miss it, but I think that was our first blade trap going down. The first row of blade traps on the bottom seems to now be dead, so that one's hit the 500, I think it is, durability at which they'll stop, out of the 2000 that they start with. So I was thinking that if we only lost a blade trap every 40 to 50 minutes, we'd be absolutely fine, but of course the rest of the blade traps actually have some damage on them already. It's not like the zombies only damage 1 blade trap at a time, so it's not going to be a consistent rate. Anyway, on we go with some sneaky shots. And that looks like we might be done with the first wave. Yeah, definitely no more coming for the moment. Just have to wait for the second wave to arrive. Alright, well that only took a few seconds in the end. Here comes the second wave now. Back to taking our snipes. Pretty happy with how the base is holding up so far as well. Getting through that first wave before the timer flew into the second wave was nice. Happy with my shooting for the moment as well. Doesn't often happen. Let's see how things keep going for a little while. Nope, shooting's back to normal. Ah well, can't win them all. Ooh, I see more smoke. So that's blade trap number 2 about to go. Not too bad though, about 30 minutes from the last one, so they are holding up pretty well. I see we've also got our first cop. Cops are probably going to be the biggest threat to this base, even above demos. With demos, I can just not shoot at them, and the blade traps will kill them eventually without sending off the charge. However, with cops, you just need them to, I guess, stumble like they do strangely at a bad moment and end up on the force field and be just out of range of the blades. Do that at the wrong time, they go boom, and you've lost maybe 2, maybe 4 of the blade traps in one go. So obviously I'll be prioritizing shooting at the cops to try and ensure that we don't lose any traps. Alright, more cops coming in. Take care of them. If I can shoot. Come on. Whoop, and there we've lost the 3rd. Actually that looks like the 4th trap. I missed one in there somewhere. So the first 2 pairs of blade traps are both now done. Oh, and it sounds like we've got a few birdies upstairs hitting the wood spikes. And I don't know where that skateboarder's off to. Let's tag him and turn him around. And I don't know if you guys saw that guy faceplant into the force field just then. And did I shoot that bird as it fell down, or was that already dead? Either way. Dodging around left to right, there shouldn't be that much room. Oh, and that bottom blade trap as well on that 3rd pair is also dead. So we've nearly done that entire first run. Just needs a few more headshots. There goes another vulture. Okay, after midnight now. 30 more minutes and we'll be halfway through. So one of the other things I like about this base, which was just demonstrated there, is the cop spit that doesn't ever seem to hit home, despite the fact that I'm just basically standing in the open doorway and whoa! Where did you come from? Well, that's the first zombie to make it all the way through. Well, here's the second. So that just shows that the blade traps are getting worn down to the point that some of the zombies will sneak through. Obviously take a bit of damage on the way through, but they can actually make it to the elevated base section. It's something that we'll have to keep an eye on from now on. And there goes the last blade trap on that front section. We're down to 2, 4, 6, 8 at the most. I can't see the 2 underneath the bridge, but down to 8 blade traps at most. It's still a long way to go, so it will be interesting to see if these make it through the whole night. Now, I don't know about you, but it feels like while the zombies are still coming, it kind of feels like they're easing off a bit. So given the fact that I'm starting to run low on ammo, and for the most part the blade traps are still stopping the zombies from coming up to the second elevated part of the base, I might just give it a bit of time. We might also see if we can pop the camera out. I haven't put it on debug mode, but we'll do that now. We'll go and have a look, and I think we've timed that either really well or really poorly, because it looks like they've stopped. There's a rando running around the stairs that can't work out what he wants to do, and these 2 guys that are trying to dig through the force field. But apart from that, I think it's all over. So we'll see if we can knock down. If we tag them, they should run back through. See if we can tag one on the stairs as well. Oh, he's still going, and there goes the AK. Give that a quick repair. And he's going to run. Is that stairs guy? I think it was. Alright, so... No, there's still one on the stairs. But he's a different one. Alright, I think that's all of them. Let's pop the hatch down and go and see what the damage looks like. There's no obviously broken blocks. There's the 6 blade traps on the way in, which we knew were dead. There's no one downstairs, is there? No one's hanging out. So it looks like we've finished the Horde Night by basically a bit after 1 AM, which is a great result, and leaves only one option. It's time to crank up the difficulty. Alright, we're back now, and we've finished our upgrades to the base. I'm going to start off underneath in the pit, where we can see now that the 3 generator banks are all using effectively what's the maximum of 282 watts out of the 300 that they can do. That's because we've got 2 electrical relays and 14 blade traps wired up to each of the generator banks. If we come upstairs, you can see where we've put them all. That's down effectively the 3 sides that lead into the base, or into the spiral. We've also made some changes to the elevated walkway, added an extra little jump just to slow them down a little bit. We've also added some poles to stop the zombies from getting to the hatch, and we've added a couple of SMG turrets on the roof, just powered by a little generator bank here, or battery bank, sorry. And they're taking care of that random vulture that was flying around. So the poles are there to stop the zombies from running up to the hatch. They should slip and fall off. So it turns it into a bit of a loop base, where the zombies then have to run back through the spiral, getting hit by the blade traps again, assuming that there's still any running at that point. Alrighty, Horde Night time again. We've got our game stage now at 180, we've upped our level to 75, and we've set the day to 7,000, so let's see how this goes for us, eh? I've also increased all my weapons up to max level 6 of everything. I've given myself a club, the tactical assault rifle, and as well as an M60 in case things get really hairy. We can pull that out and just hose things down. No limits on ammo this time. I've given myself a few thousand. Hopefully that's enough to get through. So same sort of plan. Gonna keep... Whoa! SMG turrets might not be perfectly aimed to take care of those that are flying in low. Oh yeah, sorry, same sort of plan as last time. We're going to use the ammo and the rifles to thin the herd, so to speak, as they come through. Keep control over cops, hopefully, so that they don't explode and take out any of our blade traps. A little concerning that we've got lots of cops coming in already, as well as lots of rads. But I guess that's what you get when you set your day to level to day 7,000. The zombies that are coming in from the left, thankfully, are running past a lot of the blade traps. The ones here coming in from the right are unfortunately sort of skipping a lot of them because there's not a long walkway on the right hand side, but that should change as the different waves come throughout the course of the Horde Night. Still seem to be dodging most of the cops bit just through the positioning. Switch over to the M60 for a bit. See if that's a bit harder to aim. Got more zombies, vultures flying in low, which is kind of annoying because they're coming in under the SMG turrets, but hopefully they fly up a bit on top and get taken care of. Coming in thick and fast again. I should also mention that this is running still 64 zombies, but I've also upped the difficulty to insane. Run speed and everything is all the defaults, but with the extra damage reduction, at least from my weapons, that's going to mean that the blade traps are going to have to do even more than they did last time. so I'm not going to be doing as much damage to the zombies, and the zombies will also have much greater health pools, at least for the rads and the ferals that come through. See the cops spawning in the background there. An hour in now. So far, everything feels fairly under control. Hopefully it remains that way. The first wave is usually not too bad. It's when we get into the second one that things start to get a bit hairy. We'll see how that goes. That's a good sound. SMG turrets going to town. Bye-bye vulture. Oh, I think I saw some smoke, but I can't tell from here right now which one's failed. I think it's one of the lower ones, the usual one to go, that first sort of low blade trap. Ooh. Whoa! And I think that was a cop explosion that just took out 4 turrets, judging by the amount of smoke that I just saw. So that's not great this early in the night. Quite sure how the cop managed to find a clear spot that he wasn't being hit by a blade trap. You can see that top one there, top 2 are all stuck, so they've been effectively destroyed, even if they haven't been completely removed. Otherwise, that might be wave 1 complete. 11:30, so a bit slower than the last one, I think. Maybe not. Apart from that cop, it's holding up quite well so far. Fingers crossed I did not just jinx it. Here comes wave 2. This is better. See how they're running in from the back behind the base. That means that they run past that full bank of 10 blade traps on the right. It's our first demo. So that means that they're copping a hell of a lot of damage and also mostly dying before they even get to the spiral, which is what we want by adding in those extra blade traps in this version of the base. Still just running through the little conga line of death, which is good. There's another blade trap smoking, so that's another one gone. I think that's just from normal damage, so that's okay. Oh, there goes another cop. So we've lost all those blades, which might have already been decommissioned, but they're now gone completely, which will cost us even more mats to replace. And that demo just got all the way through. But thankfully fell down, so the pole part of the base is doing its job. And sending him, there he goes, back for another run. I don't think I can set off his charge from the back, so we'll shoot him as he runs back. They're going to loop around, hopefully they get taken out. Another demo. Thankfully not too many cops. Those blade traps on the right are starting to smoke though, we're losing a few of them. These guys out a bit more. Be harder to see with just the reflex sight on them. You stop attacking. Oh, bloody hell. Somebody else just blew up. So we've got like, what? And another one. So that's our problem. They're running down the right hand side, getting mostly damaged by the blade traps, but then as they come around that corner, There's no more blade traps to hit them, so the cops are exploding and gradually taking out all those blade traps at the top end and down the entrance of the spiral. So that's not looking as pretty there. We need them to hopefully at some point in this wave switch over to the left hand side for us to have a bit of a chance. Go away, don't you dare blow up there. Got a demo jumping up. And lots of cops coming in. This is starting to get a little hectic. See if I can kill him without blowing him up. There we go. Come on. No, he's not dead. Bloody hell. There we go. Once the head is gone, you can be pretty sure that they're no longer running through. And here comes the next one. There we go. Took out him. Gee, they're making it easily now, aren't they? All these rads. Oh, look at the line running through underneath. Far out. I think we might be in a spot of bother for this one. What is it? 1 AM. So we're halfway. Cranking through the XP, but if they keep coming from that right hand side and having a free path all the way through till effectively underneath the elevated portion, then they're just going to destroy those last few blade traps in the spiral, and then it's just a loop base at that point. Overly complicated loop base without any traps doing any damage. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. Take care of the demo. Come on. Take care of these guys. Kind of glad I took the M60 at this point. I don't think we'd be having much fun if we were still with the AK. There's the spiders, they can jump around as much as they like, they're not going to do much. Can effectively ignore them. I'll probably cop a hit in the face from time to time as one gets a lucky shot, but apart from that, they're really not going to do anything. Whoa. Vulture, fly up high and get shot, please. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Oh man. Oh, there we go. The inbound zombies have switched to the left hand side, which is exactly what we needed. That'll give us a chance. So as they run through there, we've got 10 down the side, and I think we've still got maybe 2, maybe 4 at the top end that we didn't have when we ran through the base last time, so might have a bit of a chance as a level up. We certainly are having lots of zombies up the top here that we didn't see last time. Whoa, there we go, one of the spiders just got up. Got quite a few of them running around at the moment, but again, they don't matter too much. Unless there's like 4 of them. Alright. Some cops bit going the wrong way, that's a bit random, but anyway. One hanging out on top of the poles there. Way. At least the cops seem to have slowed down. Less cops is good right now, even if there's lots of rads. And I just saw one blade trap smoke itself out. So we are slowly losing those down the left hand side now, which is going to mean more zombies coming through. But again, as long as they're rads and we can just mow them down with the M60, it's not pretty, but we should hopefully make it. And there goes the M60. Repair that one once it's reloaded. See if we can get some headshots while we wait. Leg shots. Kind of close, isn't it? Alright, back back to the R60. Because they're coming through thick and fast now. It's at 2:30, so another hour and a half still to go. I don't think we're going to be finishing this one ahead of time by any stretch. So we just got to try and make it through to 4. Yeah, lost quite a few of those blade traps at the beginning part of that left-hand edge. I'm getting a few running down the right-hand edge. There's that hole running down that spiral almost completely unattacked is the problem, where we lost all those traps at the beginning from the cops. Chewing through the ammo as well. That's alright. That's 1,000 or 1,200 down so far. Ouch. Almost sounds like none of them are getting hit at all by the blade traps. Yeah, it looks like there's only that one pair of traps inside the spiral to go. Ouch. Who was that? Doesn't matter, let's just mow. There we go. Who's you? Ah. Okay, these spiders are getting annoying. Repair that. And reload. Ouch, again. Okay. Screw that. There you go. No more trying to shoot over the hatch. Can't see air. Oh no, still one spinning I think down there in the corner. Inside the spiral. Still 2468 or so on the left hand side, but the zombies I think are more coming in for the right now. Are there more coming in? Or is this just recycling? We might be done with the waves. Unless we're still got another one to go. And we're only halfway through. That could be a problem. You. Or are we done? I can't see any more coming in. I'm trying to take care of these as quickly as I can. Oh, yeah. Whew. That was intense. Yeah, they're definitely finished. Just got to do some cleanup. A few more to go. Wow. Is he dead? I think he's dead. There you go. Finished by 3:30ish. It wasn't pretty. It used a ridiculous amount of forged steel to make 42 blade traps, of which we've got hardly any left. And certainly copped some damage there. And on those pillars. Most of our blade traps are gone. Got a radiated Arlene doing a bit of mining on the Forcefield for some reason. Crap load of loot bags, so that's good. And there, a few, maybe 5 or 6 blade traps still spinning. Everything else is gone. Bit of the pillars gone there. Lots of damage. So I wouldn't really call that a huge success, and I'd hate to see what happens on an even later game stage. I don't think that's going to hold up at all. But it's kind of fun watching them go through sort of the predefined path that the zombie force field controls. Well, that's it for this base, which kicks butt if you can build it early enough, but struggles in the later game stages. If you're interested in more blade trap designs, please check out my other base builds from the links on the screen, and subscribe if you want to see more 7 Days to Die videos every 7 days. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and remember to always check the closet for zombies.